Hi six-shooter, hi guys from America, from England, and all English-speaking guys who not understand my French version or my German version. I hope that you will also understand my English. I know it's a little bit weird English because I'm an Alsatian French. That means even if I speak French, I had a strange accent. And because I also speak German, it's also I use many times the wrong words in English because of the German. But when I look back for 7 years when I began the channel, I can really tell you that it's way easier to understand now. So if you don't understand now what I say, don't go look the old English videos because you're gonna die from laughing. I hope that is from laughing and not from shame. Six-shooter, I have here the big flat flop EXB. I take one because of my shop. My favorite shop here in France send me an email and tell me, hey, you see it, they do the EXB 1/5 scale. I know you had the V1 RTR version and you really hate it. So I want to try you to buy it, so you will see with that one you will be happy again with ARRMA. And if you're not, I take the truck back. So I tell, okay, I take it. I get the V1, and in Europe we was really beeped up by Horizon Hobby with the V1 because we trust ARRMA. We take the V1, we drive it, and we was really not happy. The ARM was so weird that I broke a rear suspension arm by landing on the front because the weight from the tire was too much and I broke. And this happened more than one time, and that happened many people. Really. I get issue with shock shaft, with linking steering links, and this steering is a shame. I never get such a bad and strange steering for such a big car. And I cannot understand it because Horizon Hobby is also low-Z. So why did you not use the low-Z 5B steering? They tell me it's because of the room in the car. That's wrong. You have enough room to do a better steering than that one. That's a really bad idea for such a heavy car. So they do the V2 with another servo mount with our reinforcement for the chassis. I get no issue with the chassis on the V1. I tell them I jump it, but I not bend it. Because I know it's a flat chassis, so it has another limit than an X-Max chassis, than a TVP chassis like a Savage Flux or an Oberhäupter Sport. You never can go so hard with a flat chassis as you can go with a plastic structural chassis. That's just undoable. Or you have such a beefy chassis plate that was M2C does, but the weight is more, so the truck is going to be heavier and heavier and heavier. And then what happens? If the truck is heavier, your transmission begin to have issue, you have more heat in the motor, more M2O, the battery and the price goes up and up and up and up. So, and that one we get new shock shafts, new A-arms, new steering linkage, new servo saver springs. It's still the same system. I can understand that they just not can do a new version from the steering, so they try to upgrade it to the best possible. I drive a little bit just for check how it is. It's way better because before the KRATON V1, even with a stronger servo, and even if I put more pressure on the spring, I need a whole road before my house here to make a turn. Now I need a little bit more than the half. That is we're gonna say 40% better than before. It's still not so good than the X-Max on the steering, and it's away from a 1/5 scale buggy like MCD RR5 or Baja 5, not Baha's, but Losi 5B, but it's really, it's nice, it's okay, it's enough. I also like something really cool they do is to do bigger tires. The truck looks way better with these bigger tires on it. The tires are also more soft than the first version, and I really love it. It's really more comfortable to drive, and they also listen to us with the suspension. Now it has out from the box great suspension. It has a really soft rear end and a harder front, and this is really, really nice. And I noticed also something over. For those who know me, you know, when I see something new, I'm not going on the internet, check all video that I can find, check all specification, check all the website from the owner, check the Facebook, check the Twitter, what did they send, the picture and so. No, when I discover a new truck, I decide I love the line from the truck, I love the technique from the truck, so I buy it, and then when I unbox it, we discover it together. So I really like the fact that we have here steel insert in the front ball ends. We have the sway bars, we have, I would say, the thicker shock shaft, we have a real front bumper, because the original one from the RTR was really too hard. Each time you hit with the bumper the ground, you get a real hard hit to the chassis plate. The chassis has no more this strange form in there to be harder because it's a better alloy. It's also thicker, but it's machined here in the rear end to put the X, and also the front end to put the X on the normal place. And with that we get something over. It's really cool, because that's also something happened to me and many other people. Hitting the rear skid plate here on a rock, we destroy the whole end from the truck, because we have only two M4 screws. These two screws are not in the skid plate, and the two M4 screws here. So the screws comes apart from the bulkhead, you destroy the bulkhead, you lose your suspension hinge pins, and your truck is down on his knees and the bottom is ripped up. That's boring. So because the chassis is thicker, the skid plate is more in the chassis, so we have a less corner here. I think I'm gonna also break more this corner. I'm gonna make it smoother, because I really not want to break my rear end. In the truck, you will see, because of the bigger tires, this truck weighs with a 92mm long motor, 56mm can, Maxi CSC and two standard 4S battery, 14 kilograms, and this is really heavy for 8S system. You see it in the DBXL. If you drive cool in the DBXL with 8000 milliamp, you can reach 50-20 minutes. If you really drive it, you after 10 minutes, 12 minutes, your battery are hot, motor is hot, and that's not something I like. The DBXL is really better with 500 kV in 12S. I drive the MCD RR5 also with 50. It's a little bit, it's not so heavy, it's about 13-14 kilograms. I drive it with 500 kV 12S. With 5000 milliamps battery I drive 50 minutes, but with 75 km an hour, that means faster than this baby is in 8S. You can reach that with 8S, but your battery don't gonna like you. And I'm not a such freak from putting to big batteries. I get from Gensize the 11000 4S to check, to test. I use it in the growler. These batteries are really nice and beefy, but it's also heavy. That means we're gonna have 1 kilogram more. That means 50 kilogram, and with that weight I really not want to drive 8S. I'm gonna do it to make 2 or 3 first runs. First smooth on a flat land, then we're gonna make some off-road, then we're gonna go a little bit harder to check out what's happened with the motor. I have here 900 kV, I have a 24 tooth pinion gear. On the original main gear I don't use the smaller one for the moment, so I'm set it up for the speed from an X-Max, about 65-70 km an hour. That's enough for me. I'm a bad driver and this is way enough for me. So, and we're gonna see what happened with drive time and with heat in the truck. But I surely gonna go down with KV and put 12S in there to have more fun and more power. Not more speed, but more power when you get on throttle, if the truck holds fine. So, this time I'm confident in this car, but I was really mad after ARRMA with this V1 and doing nothing for the European guys to upgrade it in V2. We have to pay all ourselves. We have to spend 70-80 euros to upgrade our cars and still have a weak servo. And in America I know you get a service package for $25. And we mailed Horizon over Europe, they even not answer, and that is really not cool. I'm really mad at them for that, and I really hope they I still hope to get anytime an answer. For I don't like some excuses. I know they have a lot to do, I understand that, but I also not want something for less price. But I hope when I get a breakdown here that they come over to me and tell, okay, the V1 was not good, it was not happy, we forget you, so we want to do something here for you if I break something. But I really hope to not break something. What I don't understand, we get here 2 motor mount. I really prefer with that heavy load to get only the motor mount for big bores. Don't put a 49 can motor in there, it's too heavy for that. You can drive it, you can use it, but the motor gonna be hot, the battery gonna be hot. If you are just a driver who drives around, like to see the car driving, okay, but not for bashing. So I prefer to get only 1 motor mount for the big motors. I really don't understand why they send you the small servo mounts for 1/6 scale servo, because there are not much 1/6 scale servo on the market. That's a joke. Give us only the big servo mount. But instead of this, give us please 1.5 mods gearing, just 1 gear, small gear, and 1.5. Sorry, and also a pinion with 8mm bore, mod 1.5. You give us mod 1 and you don't make any pinion in mod 1 with 8mm bore. That's not funny. You're gonna see me drive it. Don't cry when you hear the first run, because like anytime, guess which pinion I get here? Still my old screaming Chinese pinion for 2 euros. Really, I paid 2 euros 50. It means about $3 to $4 for that pinion. This is the pinion I get for my first X-Max 12S test. I use it in many other cars with mod 1 and 8mm bores. The pinion is really soft, so the tools are no more this way, they are this way, so it really screams. But I don't wanna pay 10, 20 or more dollars to get different pinion size. That means if you take 2, 3, 4, 4 pinions, you really spend a lot of money for the pinions, and not knowing what I want to use for setups. So I put 800 kV, I put this pinion in there. For the moment the speed is enough for me. We're gonna see what happens on the field. If I wanna go faster and keep AS, I gonna order the right pinion for it. And if I go 24s, if I go 12s, I want to make the test again with this pinion, because I go down with the KV, go up with the S to get the same end rotation from the motor. Then I'm gonna see what happens. If it's too small or too big, I'm gonna order the right one. If you have one and you already has the V1 or V2 or TR, tell me what is your feeling about it. If you never get the KRATON 8S and you only get the EXB, tell me about it. If you have the V1 or V2, I also want to know from you, did you think you're gonna step up to the EXB or just take the parts? I really hope that the A-arms are, that's for me the worst point from the V1 was the A-arms. So I really hope the A-arms are better. The shock shaft also, the tie rods also, and if this is okay, I know I get no issue with the transmission, even if the truck is a little bit heavier now than the V1. First feeling, by driving it just fast on the road to check if my steering is straight, if all works fine, is really nice. The sway bars on the truck make a really great job, and the new suspension setup is really like we want to have the V1. Have a nice day, guys. Stay tuned for the rest. Don't forget, we're gonna test the Feed Racing Dragon Hammer 8S, but I know already 8S is gonna be a flop. We're gonna go surely for 12 or 60S, and more is coming from the Reminator. Next time we're gonna drive it, I'm gonna use 2x ATS. The first test was only with 12S, just to see if all works fine what we machined. If all is straight, if we don't destroy any gear or bearing bed or something. And next run we're gonna take 18S with the same motor, same gearing, to check if we gonna catch the 50 km/h, it's okay. If not, I'm gonna gear it up, and if it's not enough, or if we don't feel okay this way, we're gonna take the 500 kV motor. I know this is twice what the original Reminator brushless does, but don't forget we have a gear reduction more than the original ERRMA, and that's why it's gonna be way more funny, way more runtime, way less heat. And with the two 8S setups, I really want to reach, the goal is, if I can go 30 minutes, would be awesome. Here I want to reach, by normal driving, 20 minutes, by harder driving 50 is okay. Then I stop and let the car cool down, differential wise, transmission wise, and motor and battery and that stuff, and drive during the cooling time my X-Max. That's why we get so much trucks here. Bye guys, have a nice day.